So one of the reasons why building a brand as opposed to just having a product tends to be way better for sales in some ways is because brands tend to get way more repeat business because of the relationship they're building with their clientele. And regardless of how many SKUs you have, brands are able to add new products, take things away, and kind of move and evolve in their personalities and continue relationships with customers. And we know that especially in a world where online is becoming such a more popular place to buy for a lot of different reasons, having repeat business and having more people buying your product, again, specifically online, is going to help with your margins. It's going to help with getting those consistent daily sales. It's going to help with the profitability of your company, of your organization, of your brand. Now, the reason I bring up repeat business is because a lot of people think that they just need to put more money into ads, or, and as someone who spent a lot of their time or the beginning of their career mainly just doing Facebook media buys, people say we need to spend more money, we need to bring more cold traffic in, we need to get more exposure. And on some level that is true. It is really important to have more exposure. But in other ways, it's not necessarily going to impact your profit margin of your direct-to-consumer online store or the brand, because it really depends. People buying really is going to depend on your branding ability, the values, how you're communicating them through your content, all those, the promise, all those things we talk about in the brand building world and brand strategy world. But I wanted to particularly make this video on ways to get more repeat business and build that relationship without feeling like you need to spend more on advertising. And if you have a solid understanding of your brand voice in your audience, this becomes really easy to do. Well, it's not easy to do, but there's a few ways you can do it, but I'm only going to talk about one in this. And that is the welcomer email. I'm going to put it up here. Couldn't spell that for a second. I don't even know if that's seeable, but it doesn't matter. So the welcomer email. Now, before, obviously, online and in this time when people are spending, there's a lot more talk about how to translate brick and mortar into online experiences. And what made, I guess, brick and mortar so good, or the fact that people would go into a store, is that you have an opportunity to speak to somebody, and that really helps build your brand equity, right? Is having people at the location who are representative of what you're going for as a company, who can fulfill that promise on the floor through their personality, through the things they say, through their training, builds rave fans. And when you are selling to rave fans who love your product and love what you do because they actually care about what you're doing as a brand, they're going to buy from you, they're going to tell other people to buy from you, and you're just going to be selling on a consistent basis. Now, I got to see this firsthand when I was working at Apple, I'm like just under 10 years ago, but one big thing, that place was always mobbed, and clearly Apple is one of the most popular tech brands in terms of the stuff that people buy, but they had a really good sense of the importance of welcoming people in, talking about the product, getting to know people. Like in our training, we did extensive training on conversation and rapport building and how to listen to people's needs and understand what they're saying, and then try and talk about the product, and anyway, all these things. Now, in an online world, that becomes a little bit harder to do, especially when the competition, there's so many maybe stores within one niche, right? So having that brand voice, which is something I made a video on the other day, is really, really, really important, and how you translate that in your online experience becomes exceptionally important. And one way, and again, it doesn't involve spending any more money, but it will increase your sales quite substantially over time, because branding will kind of do this, right? It's like, you're looking at exponential growth and long-term thinking, is this welcomer email. Now again, in Apple, we have these people stand at the front, and I would do the job sometimes too, called greeters, and we'd say, hey, as you walk in the Apple store, people are they just say hi, and they welcome you in. Now it can go a lot deeper than that. There's this great book about repeat buyers and engagers, and he talks about watching his dad on the sales floor of their liquor company, and mentioning, hey, how is your daughter doing, and hey, how was that graduation, and I hope your mother's feeling better. Last time you said that she was sick. That kind of relationship that builds like long-term profit isn't as easy to do online, but not impossible. And it starts with just implementing that one thing of the welcomer email. When someone comes onto your website, and I'm talking mainly product-based brands, if someone comes onto your website and they sign up for your email list, right away they should be getting an email. They should be getting an email that thanks them for coming to the store or to your online site. Hey, thank you so much for signing up to this list. We really appreciate it. You don't even need to give a discount code. I mean, some people will hit you right with a discount code, but just a thank you can go a really long way. You should also add into that a little bit about the company and say it in that brand voice. If you know your values really well, talk about what you stand for. Talk about why you do what you do. Talk about anything that you think, if someone were to come into the store and you were just casually talking about the business, what you would say to that person. Now, and this operates at scale really well. Like if you have a lot of people signing up for your list, even better. But especially if they don't buy, especially if they've just come to the store for a few minutes, to send them that email. Thank you for coming by. Here are our top 3 most popular products. This is why people love them. Feel free to return anytime and to our store. We highly appreciate your business, and we highly appreciate the fact that you even came and checked us out, and this is why we do what we do. Maybe even if you've got a brand video in there or something, you could share it with them too. It should be value-based, based in appreciation, make people feel like it mattered that they went, and of course, maybe email open rates aren't the most incredible they've ever been, but I do think that especially when it comes to online stores and web sales and getting more profitable and consistent web sales, that welcome email is going to really help. And so yeah, that's my main thing. The welcomer email, really, really, really crucial to repeat business, which is really, really crucial to bringing those profit margins up onto your site without having to spend any more on ads.